Peace.
Peace.
Welcome to another episode of Chicago
Chicago
Detox.
Detox.
And we are going to be talking about the historic moment as
Yes.
Chicago is set to elect its first black woman as mayor
Yes.
in a runoff that's coming up April 2nd. So
Yeah, we
hope you
got
signed up and vote.
we got Toni Preckwinkle and
Lori
Lori
Lightfoot.
Lightfoot.
Yes.
Like he just stated, it's gonna be the first, black female elected as the mayor of Chicago. So, either way, it's gonna be a historic moment, for the
Yes.
city because
Yes, it is.
we haven't had a black mayor since the late great Harold Washington. So
Yes.
at the end of the day, like it should be something good for for all of us. So yeah,
So, speaking beyond the historic moment, uh, what else are we embarking on as far as electing our first black woman? Are we changing a tide? Do you think that now that we're voting for something as iconic as this, do you think that changes the condition or the stereotype of us being a corrupted city?
I mean it really depends because a lot of it's a lot of people saying different things, but like it's a lot of it's a lot of people saying that Toni Preckwinkle is still affiliated to the Chicago system and the way of business
Hmm.
at the office in Chicago. So like with Lori Lightfoot being a prosecutor, some people are kind of saying that she would kind of be like a breath of fresh air for the city because it's a lot of what I'm saying, it's a lot of different it's a lot of different stuff going on and she could kind of clean it up, but that's you know only time will tell that. So
Definitely, time will tell.
but that's what I think the city most definitely needs,
Hmm.
like shaping up and like just really re-strategizing things, you know what I'm saying, because just really the way that things have been done in the past is it's not working. Like I mean it's working for them, but some people's pockets are getting fatter and a lot of residents are like losing money and like leaving, so yeah.
Well, hopefully, this leads to policy changes and a legacy forward for not only the black community as far as seeing more representatives like them in
Yeah.
positions of political power, but also for the city as a whole as we can finally move forward outside of status quo politics and maybe move forward to something that's more inclusive for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. I think the fact that really in politics in general, it's a lot of women,
Mhm.
especially women of color, like they're actually getting out and representing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're dealing with that stuff, is like they really going in and like the future generation, like the daughters and little sisters and little cousins and nieces and all that stuff, like they looking up to that because now they could aspire to like be the president or something like that, you know
Yes.
what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
at the end of the day, like I'm totally for it, but like I say, I'm really just hoping that it brings some type of change, you
Some
know what I'm saying?
tangible change, some policies that we can see and see.
And then also at the end of the day, I think if all of those candidates, could still also like link up and if they all for the same similar issues, like
Yeah.
take a stand with moving it forward, and not really, try to take excuse me, to try to just take the credit like, oh, I this was my policy. Like I
Hmm.
wanted to be my name, like no. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're for the people, like do the job that you pay for, for the people.
Exactly. And for my hope is that we come up with some tangible solutions and those that have been embarking on this journey of campaigning vigorously for that seat that they all still come to the table and say, this is what I want to contribute to making a
Yeah.
better Chicago, and not just for political power purposes.
Because they already have the voice, you know, like, I'm not sure the exact number, but I think it was like 14 candidates, you know, on the ballot for mayor. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure it's 14 different perspectives, but I'm quite sure it's some, common denominator that they all,
Can come
pretty
together
much
and agree on.
figure something out for the better of the people, like I say, because that's what they're paid to do.
But for
It's
now, we're
only
gonna
right.
just keep an open mind and just embrace this new frontier and hope that the city of Chicago come together and we move forward by choosing a candidate that's going to move us forward and not stagnant in the same status quo.
Yeah, and like you say, move us forward, like us as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because like the city is kind of segregated, but in certain areas is not. But like when it comes to when it comes to like voting and stuff like that, most of the city is kind of on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like a blue state. So like they all kind of have the same common goals. So I'm quite sure they could get it done. But like I say, just really got to focus on doing it all for us, like the city of Chicago. And, like to thank y'all for tuning in for another episode
yes.
of Chicago Detox.
Peace.
Peace.